Look at this, guys. Plastic is just as if Hyundai time traveled straight back to the 90s or 2000s.
Hello everyone! The release of the Hyundai Ioniq 6 marks a new chapter for Hyundai. Now, about 20 years ago, Hyundai was a laughingstock manufacturer. They were making cars that were just budget and that wouldn't last very long. The quality was horrible. Everything about the manufacturer was horrible except for the lengthy warranty, which it still holds to this day, everyone. Now, today, Hyundai has given us a hint that it is willing to go through the premium segment even. Now, Hyundai's involvement with the premium segment is not new. They have a manufacturer called Genesis. Genesis is a company that's under the Hyundai Group. They already compete in the premium segment. But if we're talking about Hyundai cars themselves, they are setting foot in the premium segment slowly but surely, and it all starts with this Hyundai Ioniq 6. Now, when it comes to desirable electric cars, we can all agree Tesla may have built the first ever desirable electric car, but one thing we all have to establish is that now the desirability has changed here in the EU market. It's not a question of who makes the fanciest. It's a question of who makes the most technical, who makes the most interesting, who has the richest identity, or who has the most desirable price tag, everyone. More for a small price tag. This is something that appeals to everyone, and this is an undeniable reputation of Hyundai. This Hyundai Ioniq 6 costs 60,000 euros. Is it good value for money or not? We're gonna find out in a moment, but one thing that should be remarked, everyone, is that Hyundai has an unquestionable reputation for good value for money, giving a lot for less. But in wake of the competition for electric cars, things may have changed for every car manufacturer, which means they offer cars at a high price tag all because it's electric with less equipment inside. So let's see if this Hyundai still remains generous or not.
Now over here, everyone, the Hyundai Ioniq 6. Now, when I first saw this Hyundai Ioniq 6, the front was very interesting. It kind of reminds me of the sporty versions of the i30, especially with the headlight, guys. There's something about the front that has some references to the N models, the N lines, guys. Now, it should be remarked that lately Hyundai has developed an obsession with straight lines everywhere. So like the wheels have a straight design everywhere on the front. It's all very nice and straight, which is good, guys. Very pleasant. And then also especially squares. Look at the side indicator, guys. Squares. So the Hyundai Ioniq 6 is based on the concept car called Hyundai Prophet. The Hyundai Prophet, it's not very clear if it was intended to have a reference to ancient Hyundai models or not, but automatically we see that the front looks like it has a reference to ancient Hyundai coupes from the 2000s or something. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the quality of the badge has improved. There was a time the badge used to be shiny and everything. But now, touching this badge, it feels a bit metallic. Wonderful alloy wheels, everyone. I particularly like this design. Nothing pretentious. Looks wonderful. Now, whether it has a Hyundai identity or not, I'm not certain. But I have an impression I've seen this sort of design for a hubcap before, especially for Hyundai. But one thing I do notice is that the badge is elevated right here from the other part of the alloy, so this could be a Hyundai identity after all. Otherwise, it's black alloy in the middle and then shiny alloy on the side. Now the rear gets even more interesting, everyone. As we approach the rear, many of you would have probably thought that it looks like Porsche for some reason. Now, I don't think it's supposed to be any reference to Porsche, but then there's also a good chance that the exterior design was inspired by Genesis, the premium manufacturer of the Hyundai Group. If you look at this design, like how sharp it is, this looks like a reference to Genesis. If we look carefully at the shape of this window and just this the angle over here, like if you look at this Hyundai Ioniq 6 from this angle, to me it just reminded me of the Hyundai i40, the i40 of the early 2010s or very late 2000s. I think so, because the i40 was a D-segment Hyundai car which was discontinued by Hyundai due to poor sales and due to very strong competition from the Volkswagen Passat and the Ford Mondeo. But now it seems like this is like a revival of the i40 in some senses. Let's just take a look at how it looks like when the lights are on. Because the hazard lights are just going to make things look wonderful. Look at this, guys. A dual paint tone. So here is the bodywork. This is the main paint. And then you get a different paint tone right here. Now it all depends on the color you pick and what's available in the configuration. I think I find this paint tone really nice, but it's just a bit interesting how Hyundai only concentrated on the rear for this. And then as we approach the front, the silver tone just vanishes. It's nowhere to be seen at the front, except all the way down there. You get actual air vents at the front, everyone. You get parking sensors at the front and at the rear. If I do find something questionable, everyone, it's the fact that you don't get a 360-degree parking camera for a price of 60,000 euros. On the bright side, you do get a rear parking camera, so that's a plus. And then another thing I'd like to remark, guys, is the air vent at the back. Like, despite the sporty-looking rear, the air vent right here is fake for some reason, which is also unusual because usually the South Koreans like to be very honest with what they show. Explore the interior, but before doing so, I just want to point out this is the handle to open the door. Now, I'm not really a big fan of the concept of pop-out handles, especially one that's like this. Now, this is becoming a common trend, and this started since Tesla rolled out. It folds in whenever the car is locked. But it's just not my type, and I have my reasons why. And I think the primary example being when you have shopping, guys, because whenever it's a handle, it's easy to pull. But whenever it's something like this, it's not very easy to hold on to, because your hand can easily slip. You know what I'm saying, guys? It's not very easy to hold on to, and it's not easy to pull, guys. You have to pull it very gently, because in long terms, you do not want to spoil the handle. So you have to pull it gently like this, or just open it from there and then pull it by the door.
Ooh, gets even more interesting, everyone. More exciting. Time to check out the interior. Now. Oh, wonderful. It feels just like a premium car. Hello? Okay, I'm just listening to my voice a bit, guys, because I hear my voice echoing in this interior, and that's something that scares me at a price of 60,000 euros. Not because I'm scared of the dark, or with the dark at the back, or because of something, but rather because of the quality of the acoustics. But we'll cover that later. First, let's cover the interior. Now, the interior has some references to the Hyundai Ioniq 5 as well. The way they've gone about the presentation of it, it's very interesting, but there's some new developments about this interior. They've decided to put a lot of things at the center rather than on the side. On the positive hand, this whole thing cocoons you, this whole center, which is very good. It feels like a premium car. The concept was very interesting. It seems like they wanted to aim for a premium style to it. Good. But does it really work, guys? Because in a moment I'm going to show you all the rest of the interior. And to some extent, I'm a bit alarmed. So first thing first, guys, let's talk about the seat. In the interior of this particular Hyundai Ioniq 6, you get only fabric seats, guys. For a price of 60,000 euros, this can be perceived as questionable, but then it is electric after all, and fabric seats are durable. They last long. Electric seating adjustment with lumbar support, everyone. Wonderful, but no seating memory. Now, as for the trim in this interior, Hyundai practically did nothing about it. There's no piano black anywhere here. The only part of the interior that has piano black is just this, on the steering wheel. Like the buttons right here. And that's it, literally. Everything else has nothing out of the ordinary, apart from some trim like this, the silver trim and everything, and this little trim that surrounds the infotainment system and the instrument cluster. The rest of the interior is all plastic, which is a bit unusual for a price of 60,000 euros, guys.
Otherwise, the plastic quality is good nonetheless. It's nice and it's something durable. It's something that will last and it's easy to live with because if there's a problem, like we have to clean it up, it's easy to wipe clean. It's durable. And then here you get some leather, which is good. Well, I wouldn't say leather, but it's a nice squidgy material. This door is also really interesting. It is plastic, but it's got some unique material to it. And then as we approach down, you get this wave design to it. It's quite interesting, quite nice. It's pleasant, and this whole thing is a handle you can pull close from. Now over here, guys, steering wheel of the Hyundai Ioniq 6. Very interesting. 2-spoke steering wheel, exact same concept as the Ioniq 5. So over here is your infotainment system and your digital instrument cluster. Hyundai puts it both together, and I seem to recall Kia also has adopted the exact same concept. And this concept is also visible on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Very nice. Now you get continuous air vents. Well, what I thought was actually continuous air vents, but it's not. So the air vents have this design, you see, and here nothing happens really. So it's just the trim and everything, which is good. Although I like this concept. It's like a tray or some sort of bowl. Look at this. Over here would be your climate control. Well, at least what I think would be your climate control when the car is in action. And you get some media controls right here, basic media controls. Otherwise, majority of the buttons and controls would be on the infotainment system. You guys get a wireless recharge for your telephone. You get a USB point right here. And you get 2 cup holders of fixed sizes with some little supports right there. And, you get this little thing to remove the mat if ever you want to do some maintenance, guys. Here, we'll put it back where it belongs. Hyundai believes it's okay to put the window controls right in the middle, and with your center door lock right here, and the auto hold button right there. So, yeah. Now, the idea of having window buttons right in the middle is not new. This was a concept that was very popular in the 2000s. Now, many car manufacturers tend to put the window buttons, all 4 of them, on the left side. But Hyundai reverted back to doing it right here in the middle. And now Hyundai is currently not the only manufacturer to do this. I know DS Automobiles also does this. You get your mirror controls right here. Rather nice and cozy. But it floats, guys, because right underneath you get additional storage spaces. And with it you get a 12-volt socket down there. It's a good concept, but I'm not usually a fan of it because it's an open storage area, which is not very easy to always access, guys. Storage solutions, let's get down to practicality, everyone. So we covered the cup holders, we covered this area. Now this area is rather deep, so it's good for your telephone. Storage space under there is good, but accessibility, you all be the judge. Now, central console storage, I like the presentation of it. It's a bit on the firm side, but then as we open it, things get even more interesting, or at least I thought. The central console is quite deep, but not very wide. Otherwise, you get 2 USB points to here. And you get a micro storage space right here, which you can decide what it's meant for. Now, this is the glove box of the Hyundai Ioniq 6, everyone. It is really interesting. They've gone to a drawer concept. The drawer concept is not new. I think the French car manufacturers were the first ones to introduce it. It started with the Renault Espace, I believe. Now, is it a good concept or not? You all be the judge, but me personally, I think it's not a very practical concept. And it's not very spacious either, guys. The glove box is really shallow. And also the quality, guys. Just look at this. Look at this, guys. The quality is not very solid. It wobbles a lot. That's the point, guys. Now for the door bin, guys. One advantage I see is that it's very long. But one disadvantage I see is that it's very narrow and you cannot fit a big water bottle. The exterior gives us the hint that Hyundai wants to compete in the premium segment. But this plastic is just as if Hyundai time traveled straight back to the 90s or 2000s and brought this plastic. Like, look at this. The last time I saw plastic like this was in the 2000s Hyundai Tucson or Santa Fe. I'm a bit lost for words because the exterior gives us this promise that Hyundai wants to compete in the premium. But then we see the interior, we touch many parts of the interior, we look at it, and we get this impression that it's like to some extent Hyundai has taken one step back or something, because I'm going to tell you all something. The interior is promising. I know what Hyundai tried, okay? Same concept as the Ioniq 5. It looks nice, it looks very desirable, and it feels premium. But now the practicality solutions were alarming. They were questionable. And then also that glove box wobbles a lot. I've never seen a Hyundai car with a glove box that wobbles this much. Another thing I found questionable is how you do not get any storage space up here, and you do not get a sunroof or a panoramic roof, guys. Another thing I found a bit questionable is that USB point isolated right there. It looks like an afterthought, because usually most manufacturers would have it covered with something. I know Kia likes to be very detailed about this. They like to have a nice cover over it, super duper nice presentation. It is time to explore the rear seat of the Hyundai Ioniq 6 Evo. Legroom is wonderful, guys. Is great, guys. My headroom is wonderful. It's actually very close to the ceiling, but that's normal because of the coupe design. Now over here you get a nice armrest, guys. It's not very squidgy, it's very firm actually. But you get two cup holders of fixed sizes, and that's about it. Alright, you do get air vents right here, you do get two USB points right there, and a little storage space down there. Good for your coins and cards. And you get a rear seat pocket. It's a net, so this is durable. I like this, and it's flexible. Micro storage space right here, and nice door bin, which is very narrow, but it can fit a small bottle there. Huh, good. But otherwise, this is good. At least it's like a handle. And you get heated rear seats and this nice window button right here. The presentation is really good and surprisingly a bit more practicality solutions, guys. Wow. Okay, this is better than I thought. But just the only thing is that the quality here, guys. There's no fabric on this door, so it's all hard plastic. Beacon of Hope lighting right here. You get this nice handle and a coat hook right here. Now it's time to check out the boot space of this Hyundai Ioniq 6. This is the button to open the boot door. Now, despite the fastback style, the window does not budge. It does not open. It's only this boot space that opens, the boot door that opens. And this has brought advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that it looks good and everything. It has its sedan characteristics. But the disadvantage is entrance, guys. This whole thing obstructs. Now, over here, guys, the boot space of the Hyundai Ioniq 6. So, the boot space is really deep itself, but it's not very tall. It's just very deep, that's all. Space. I like the material it's lined with. This is really good and durable, guys. It's wonderful, but I don't see any sign of a 12-volt socket anywhere. Yeah, that can be questionable. And another thing I'd like to point out is no tether points either. So practicality was last priority for.
So here's my conclusion of the Hyundai Ioniq 6, everyone. This is a new chapter for Hyundai, and as the pages turn, we will always see wonderful events and we will always see unfortunate events. Now, one thing that should be noted is that it looks as though from the exterior, Hyundai aimed for a premium attempt. They wanted to go premium, it seemed, and I saw from the exterior, it looked like a premium car. It looked like something to compete with the German competitors. The interior felt premium, but did it look premium enough? But when it comes down to value for money, Hyundai has had an unquestionable reputation for being great value for money. But now, on the topic of this Hyundai Ioniq 6, is it good value for money or not? I have to say that this Hyundai Ioniq 6 is good value for money. It's not the best, but I'm just inclined to say good value for money because there's something a bit alarming about it, and I'm going to point them out to you right now. First thing was the absence of sunroof or panoramic roof and 360-degree parking camera for a price of 60,000 euros. That was something small, but something I just thought I'd point out anyways. Now the interior was where things became really interesting. The quality of the material, the excess use of plastic, and then especially that too wobbly, like the glove box, for example. Would you all like my humble opinion of this Hyundai Ioniq 6? I love this Hyundai Ioniq 6. This is one of the most interesting electric cars of today's generation, and I think it's a very big step ahead for Hyundai, and this is a new chapter because this is Hyundai slowly walking into the premium segment. It looks premium, but it did not feel premium. But that does not mean it was a failure, everyone. This means Hyundai is going through trial and error. Sometimes car manufacturers come up with something new and they fail at it, but that doesn't mean they give up. They keep going. They soldier on. And Hyundai is climbing up, guys. They went from being a laughingstock manufacturer in the 90s to being a premium competitor today. Near premium competitor, and they don't need to worry about the premium segment, so because they already have a player over there, Genesis. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run, everyone. And don't forget to check the links in the description for my car reviews, travel videos, and my creativity videos. I'll see you all next time.